Just early impressions on quarterbacks.
I think both of them are, they're really locked in, they're eager, they're trying really hard to do everything I'm asking them to do, which I appreciate. And the big thing right now for us at that position is those guys playing, playing fast as far as their tempo, and then and as they can operate fast, it'll help our team operate faster, and then their feet. Really focusing on being on time with their throws, and that has a lot to do with their feet. I feel like they're smart kids. With what we've got in, they kind of know where they should be going with the ball, but when things are going fast and things get sped up, can they play fast but slow everything down mentally, and then, like I said, footwork and throwing on time, that'll be key for both of them as we move forward.
With Kyle, he's been in a similar system at Shiloh. Do you feel like he can grasp things a little bit quicker than maybe the usual guy coming in this system?
Both of them have been in a similar system because, at Phoenix City, Jonathan did a lot of the same type of stuff too. But, Kyle did have a year here as a true freshman in what we do. So there's probably a little more recall that things that maybe come back to him a little quicker. But, Jonathan is such a quick study, a hard worker, and both of those guys have been great in meetings. They've been taking books home, doing extra work. I mean, they've come prepared every day. I don't feel like either one of these first 2 days they've shown up not ready to go. And so that's just a matter of getting the repetition, because a lot of what we do has to do with repetition and time. And same thing with the wideouts. As the wideouts and them get on the same page, they'll continue to look better and better and better.
Have any of the wideouts caught your eye?
Yeah, I think we got a chance. We've got some talent there. It's just a matter of getting them, just like everybody else, it's across the board on offense right now, getting them to understand the tempo which we want to play at, so we practice that at that tempo, and the expectations and the standards of, how fast we want to go with everything. And, they'll get in better shape too for what we do as we go. You definitely look at a guy like Ricardo Lewis, who's got loads of talent, and he just needs the reps. You got from Sammy to Jalen Denson, those guys. You got the older guys like Quan Bray and Trevon Reed. You can tell they've got some recall of what we're doing. And Melvin Ray's done some good things too. But the thing is, as we go through practice, at the tempo we go with only 6 or 7 guys, they've got to be able to fight through that and be just as good at the end of practice as they were at the beginning. But we've got a chance there. Yeah.
How do they handle the down number times? So 6 receivers in spring is.
We haven't said anything to them. They haven't said a word about it. I think it's great. We're going to be smart with everybody, but we got a true 2 deep. Those guys are getting plenty of reps, and so that's what it's for. We're not going to run them into the ground. We're going to be smart, and at the same time they need the reps, and it's going to help them because at wide out and what we do, they need to run right now. It's kind of like they're going to get broken into the shape for what we do, and right now it's tough. It is every time we've ever done it. But their attitude's great. We just got to get them now. We're harping on them to play faster and do the tempo, and that's great. We're going to keep doing that, and it's very chaotic out there. At the same time, we can't just play fast. We got to play smart. I thought today maybe we were not anywhere near our standard of what we want. We were trying to play faster, but then we were losing some of the where do we line up? What do we do on this play? And so we just kind of let that get away from us. We got to be able to play fast and play smart.
On Wednesday, we saw Kyle was working with Corey Grant in the backfield, a lot of the first unit, a lot of returning starters, and then today saw a little bit more Jonathan Wallace doing that, at least in the portion before therefore. How much kind of rotation is
I'll be dead honest with you, it's at random. I mean, we're rotating those guys. Even Wednesday and today, I'm rotating Jonathan, Kyle, based off maybe 7-on-7. We do it this way, team, we do it this way. And Coach Horton's doing the same thing with Corey and Trey and Cameron Artis-Payne. So how it shook out and appeared maybe, but right now we don't really even have a first group. I think at wideout, Coach Craig did the same thing today. The guys who went with, quote, the first group on Wednesday, we flipped it today. And, there is a core group of guys that are going to rep together more so than others maybe, but it probably just so happened that way.
Conditioning-wise, before the start of practice, we were speaking to Coach Malzahn the other day about weight and strength and things like that. Jonathan gains 12 pounds, and he was saying that Kyle gained 8, but was really coming down from a higher number. Where do you want them to be size-wise?
When I got it here, and even right now, I think Kyle he put on a lot of weight. I think Kyle's a little heavy. Probably still is. And he's lost some since we got here and through the winter conditioning. I'd like him to get back to where he was as a freshman. I think he was around 220, 225 maybe. He was a little heavier than that when we got here. As a freshman, he played, ran the ball very well. You can see right now he's got the arm talent. We just got to get him consistent. I think the ball's come out of his hand pretty well at times. Jonathan has gotten bigger, which is good. You know, we'll kind of manage that target weight as we go, but I do agree it's good that Jonathan's put on some weight, and Kyle, we'd like to get him down a little bit so he can, you know, he just feels better. He's already said now that he's lost some weight, he just feels better. And I think we can get a little more off him. He'll feel better and move better.
Rhett, can you talk about what you'd like to see tomorrow, first day in pads?
Well, I'd like to see our pace and tempo improve again. You know, our guys have now had 2 days to understand it's chaotic. We ask a lot of it, and there's a reason for it. I'd like to see us continue to make strides in that. I'd like to get really quickly to where our coaches aren't having to coach the pace and the tempo as much, and we can coach more the fundamentals and X's and O's things. So that's number one. Number two, first day in pads, I want our guys to be physical. You know, we got to be physical across the board. The wideouts, with their blocking on the perimeter, I like the backs to be physical and protect the football. Now that they're going to be getting hit up front, we'd like to see who can be physical. And I'd like to see how the quarterbacks are when pads are popping around them, how they react, even if they're not live, how they're reacting to all that. And then overall, every day, and it goes a little bit with our tempo and pace, but the discipline. Every day we are preaching discipline of where we want to line up, how we want to run a route, how we want to take a step at line, quarterbacks exactly where they need to go with the football. We got to be extremely disciplined at every position in order for us to be successful. So those will probably be the main three things I'd like for tomorrow. See how they bounce back. You know, one day we practice today, don't have an off day, and I would think they'll be excited in the stadium with pads on, I would hope.
We saw it last year at Arkansas State, just trimming down mistakes and interceptions and stuff. What kind of goes into that into the spring? How do you try to get that going, get that in guys' mind about the injury?
It's a process, and, you know, it didn't happen overnight at Arkansas State. You know, we're going to emphasize it every day. From a quarterback standpoint, obviously, we're throwing the football, we touch it every play, but at every position, we start every day with ball security drills and things like that at those skill spots. We'll emphasize it every day, and when we have issues with it, we'll deal with it then, we'll coach it up, and it's just, I think you get what you emphasize. And if you just emphasize it for a little bit and you forget about it, then it's not going to work. We got to be consistent as coaches and demand it from our players, and I think they'll, over time, learn how to play smart and aggressive and confident, but not careless.
With all,
That helps.